Here's the thing before we leave you today. Club identity and the brand of a football club, how important is it? Tottenham Hotspur, we hear, have written to broadcasters to ask them to stop refereeing to the club as to stop referring to the club as Tottenham. The club have made it clear that they want to be known either by their full name, Tottenham Hotspur, or Spurs. Now, this has come in email form to the broadcasters earlier this month, and it's only been made public in the last few days. And Tottenham Hotspur, I beg your pardon, say in this email, Tottenham Hotspur have provided clarification regarding the club's name. They've requested that the club are primarily known as Tottenham Hotspur, with Spurs being the preferred short version. The club have requested that they are not referred to as Tottenham. Now, of course, when you get on Sky, for example, and I'm not sure if they still do this, but they show the league table after a round of matches, and there are Tottenham in whatever position in the Premier League. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Because they prefer to be in the same way that Nottingham Forest don't like to be called Notts Forest. And the same way that I often used to irritate me when Crystal Palace were just referred to as Palace.
Seriously?
Not hugely, but the name of the football club...
That used to irritate you?
...is Crystal Palace.
We're Palace playing tonight.
Or as Charlton announcers used to regularly say, Crystal Palace, and thought they were funny. Listen, I think it's a bit silly to make a production out of it. But it's also, in this world where football clubs are now recognised as quote-unquote brands, the imagery and iconography of the football club becomes very important for those little job justifiers in the marketing department that create value for themselves by creating jobs for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether Daniel sat at his desk and penned a little Piffle down to his marketing department saying, I refuse to be called Tottenham. Right? Or whether somebody has suggested that ultimately the correct version of Tottenham is Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And Tottenham is the area.
Glasgow Rangers. Glasgow. I kind of get that. No. But we all know who Tottenham are when we talk about Tottenham. They're Tottenham Hotspur or Spurs.
But again, we have to understand, if we want to, that this is a product that is shipped around the world. Yeah. And is represented around the world. Sure. And the brand of Tottenham Hotspur is very different than the brand of Tottenham. Yeah. And Spurs has a different imagery than Tottenham. So if you want to be called by your full name... and you want it to be something that represents you properly in other parts of the world where it's not so relatable as people that are well-versed in who Tottenham are when they're looking at the Premier League table, because they're seeded in this country, and the principle of Tottenham Hotspur being a football club that's, when you say Tottenham, you clearly mean Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think it's that big a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal. Tottenham play, I beg your pardon, Tottenham Hotspur, or Spurs, play Manchester City tomorrow night. Of course, talkSPORT 2 exclusive for that. Well done. Thank you for that, my man. Abbreviations. I'm Jim White. From now on, I want to be James White.
James White,
if you don't mind.
Yes.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.